All right, welcome to this explainer. So you're thinking about making the move to the UK? Whether you're heading over to study, diving into a new job, or maybe launching a business, there is a lot to prepare for that honestly often goes totally unsaid. Well, today, we're going to uncover 10 crucial facts that will absolutely save you time, save you money, and spare you a whole lot of stress before you pack those bags. We all have that picture perfect, almost movie like image of the UK in our heads. But are you truly ready for the realities on the ground? While millions of people dream of making the move, there are some highly practical, everyday realities you really need to be ready for. Knowing these inside and out before you arrive is the absolute best way to make sure your transition is as smooth as possible. So, to help you prepare, we've broken this whole journey down into 4 logical steps. Welcome to the UK, getting around, cost, work, and health, and lastly, culture and travel. Okay, part 1, welcome to the UK. Let's get the lay of the land. First things first, let's clear up a massive misconception right out of the gate. England is not just another word for the entire UK. Actually, the United Kingdom is made up of 4 totally distinct countries: England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. London pulls double duty. It serves as the capital of England, but also the capital city of the entire UK. It's so crucial to recognize this right from the start, because each of these 4 nations has its own incredibly rich culture, unique traditions, and even some different laws. And hey, speaking of the lay of the land, we literally can't talk about the UK without talking about the weather. It is notoriously unpredictable. To survive the elements here, you really need a daily strategy. Always check the forecast. And make sure you keep 3 absolute essentials handy: a light waterproof jacket, a sturdy umbrella, and a good pair of comfortable shoes. Trust me on this one. When you experience all 4 seasons in a single Tuesday afternoon, you'll be so glad you have them. Moving right along to section 2, getting around the UK. So you've packed your umbrella, but it begs a pretty big question. How exactly are you going to navigate your new city? Whether you're commuting to a fresh job or rushing to university classes, getting from point A to point B without a headache is going to be a massive part of your daily routine. Luckily, the UK boasts an absolutely world-class public transport network. You've got an abundance of excellent options. There are trains connecting the entire country, really extensive bus networks, trams in certain cities, and of course, the famous underground metro, better known as the Tube. Down in London, this system is so efficient that most people just rely entirely on the Tube instead of even owning a car. Plus, navigating these systems is a breeze and often way cheaper because you can just tap in and out using contactless bank cards or mobile payments. Oh, and if you plan to travel a lot, definitely pick up a dedicated travel card. It's a total game changer for saving money over time. But hey, if you do decide to skip transit and get behind the wheel, buckle up for some strict rules. Beyond the obvious, like driving on the left-hand side of the road, seatbelts are absolutely mandatory for everyone in the vehicle. And do not even think about touching your phone while driving. It will earn you a massive fine, unless you're using an approved hands-free system. Seriously, learn these rules before you ever turn the key, or that smooth transition we talked about could get very expensive. All right, let's jump right into section 3, cost, work, and health. Let's start by talking about your wallet, because this really impacts your day-to-day. The cost of living here varies wildly depending on your postcode. While London is, well, notoriously expensive, cities like Manchester, Birmingham, Leeds, and Liverpool offer a much more affordable lifestyle. Rent is almost always going to be your biggest monthly expense, no matter where you end up. So my biggest piece of advice here: carefully compare prices across different cities before locking in your new home. Once you're settled, though, you'll actually find abundant opportunities if you're a skilled worker. We are currently seeing massive demand across healthcare, information technology, construction, and hospitality. There are also fantastic openings in engineering, retail, and digital marketing. To really give yourself an edge in these competitive fields, you'll want to focus on having solid English communication skills and making sure you have a highly professional CV ready to go. Now, what about protecting your health? The UK is home to the NHS, the National Health Service. And the amazing thing about the NHS is that if you're eligible and registered, most medical services are totally free, right at the point of treatment. So literally the very first thing you should do when you move is register with a local GP. Just keep in mind, depending on your personal circumstances, certain things like dental treatment, eye care, and prescription meds might still require a payment. Another really interesting shift in everyday UK life is the move toward a cashless society. Most people these days rely almost entirely on debit and credit cards, or mobile options like Apple Pay and Google Pay. This digital shift is so widespread that even tiny independent shops usually accept, and honestly, sometimes even prefer, these digital payments over traditional notes and coins. That being said, my pro tip, despite the whole digital shift, always keep a little bit of physical cash on hand anyway. It's just a simple, smart backup plan that will absolutely save you in an unexpected emergency or, when a card reader inevitably decides to stop working. And that brings us to our fourth and final section, culture and travel. Let's uncover the nuances of local life. British culture is basically world famous for its politeness, and it's built almost entirely on three magic words: please, thank you, and sorry. You will literally hear and say sorry dozens of a day, even when someone else bumps into you. It's kind of funny, but it really is the quickest, easiest way to blend in and show respect for the local culture. But politeness here isn't just spoken, it's practically a physical sport. You absolutely must respect personal space. And above all else, respect the queue. Waiting your turn patiently in a line is essentially a national pastime in the UK. Jumping ahead, yeah, that will certainly earn you some strongly worded, yet somehow still incredibly polite expressions of disapproval. Finally, the really fun part, exploring. The travel opportunities right on your doorstep are just incredible. From the bustling, vibrant streets of London to the historic charm of Edinburgh, Cardiff, and Belfast. And if you're a nature lover, you have breathtaking landscapes waiting for you in the Lake District, the Scottish Highlands, and the Cotswolds. The whole UK is just absolutely packed with historic castles, fascinating museums, and stunning countryside just waiting for you to discover. Which brings us to the end of this explainer and leaves us with one final pretty exciting question. Now that you know the secrets, what will your UK story be? You've got the knowledge to save time, save money, and avoid a ton of unnecessary stress. So whether you're heading over for life, study, or business, it's time to take that next big step in your journey. Thank you so much for learning with us today, and we'll see you in the next explainer.